Look, nobody wants to be labeled a loser in the dating game. We're talking about recognizing when someone just isn't a good fit for you, someone who might bring you down instead of building you up. You deserve a partner who adds value to your life, someone who respects you and treats you right. This video is about recognizing those red flags early on so you don't waste your precious time and energy. Sometimes it's not about them being a bad person. It's about recognizing your own worth and setting boundaries. You teach people how to treat you. And if you're settling for crumbs, well, that's all you're gonna get. This is about empowering you to take control of your love life and make choices that serve you. So let's dive in and talk about those red flags you shouldn't ignore. Now, I'm all for equality in a relationship, but let's talk about financial expectations. Splitting everything down the middle might sound fair on paper, but let me tell you, it ain't always that simple. Life throws curveballs. What happens when one person's hit with unexpected medical bills or loses their job? Is it still 50-50 then? Relationships are about partnership, about supporting each other through thick and thin. It's about having each other's backs. If one person's always struggling to keep up, resentment's gonna build up faster than you can say overdraft fees. It's not about being a sugar daddy or a sugar mama. It's about understanding and flexibility. Maybe one week one person picks up the dinner tab, the next week it's the other person's turn. Maybe it's about contributing what you can, when you can. The point is, it's a two-way street, folks. A healthy relationship involves open communication about finances, about finding a balance that works for both partners. You deserve someone who's invested in the relationship, not just their own bottom line. Let's be honest, folks. Ain't nobody got time for games. If you're looking for a committed relationship, you gotta be upfront about it. Don't waste your time with someone who's sending mixed signals, who's all about keeping their options open. Commitment is about clarity. It's about knowing where you stand with someone, about building a foundation of trust and security. It's about making a choice to be all in, to weather the storms together. If you're constantly questioning where you stand, if you're getting breadcrumbs of affection, it's time to have a serious conversation. Don't be afraid to ask the tough questions, to lay your cards on the table. Look, if they're not willing to commit, to meet you halfway, then they're not the one for you, and that's okay. Better to find out sooner rather than later, right? Commitment is about choosing each other, day in and day out. It's about showing up, even when it's hard. Don't settle for anything less. You know the saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, in the dating world, there shouldn't even be a fool me once. Reliability and consistency are the cornerstones of a healthy relationship. If someone's constantly canceling plans last minute, if their words don't match their actions, that's a major red flag. It shows a lack of respect for your time and feelings. Look, life happens, I get it. But if it's a pattern, if they're always full of excuses, it's time to call them out on it. You deserve someone who follows through, who makes an effort to be present in your life. Consistency isn't just about grand gestures. It's about the little things, too. If you find yourself constantly making excuses for their flakiness, for their lack of effort, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Pay attention to their patterns of behavior. Look, physical attraction is important, but it only goes so far. A truly fulfilling relationship requires depth, a meeting of the minds. You need to be able to hold a conversation with your partner, to challenge each other intellectually, to grow together. If you find yourself constantly bored, if you feel like you're talking to a brick wall, that's a red flag. A relationship without intellectual stimulation is like a car without gas. It ain't going very far. Now, I'm not saying you have to have identical interests. In fact, a little bit of difference can be exciting, but you need to have some common ground, some shared values, something to connect on beyond the superficial. A relationship should enrich your life, not drain it. Now, I know some folks think chivalry's dead, but let me tell you, good manners never go out of style. I'm not talking about some outdated patriarchal nonsense. I'm talking about basic respect and consideration. It's about holding the door open, about walking on the outside of the sidewalk, about offering your jacket when it's cold. It's about those small gestures that show you care, that you see your partner and appreciate them. Gentlemanly behavior isn't about being subservient, it's about being thoughtful. It's about making your partner feel special, respected, and valued. If someone's constantly dismissive, If they treat service workers like dirt, if they lack basic manners, that's a red flag. It speaks volumes about their character and how they view the world. You deserve someone who treats you with respect, who values your opinions and feelings, someone who takes pride in being a decent human being. Look, manipulation is a sneaky beast. It can creep into a relationship without you even realizing it. Manipulators are masters at twisting words, at making you doubt yourself, at controlling the narrative. They might use guilt trips, passive-aggressive comments, or outright lies to get their way. They might isolate you from your friends and family, making you dependent on them. If you feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, if you're afraid to express your true feelings, that's a major red flag. Manipulation is about power and control, and it has no place in a healthy relationship. Trust your gut instincts. If something feels off, if their words don't match their actions, don't ignore it. Talk to someone you trust, a friend, a family member, a therapist. Get an outside perspective. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect, to have your boundaries honored. You have the right to say no without feeling guilty or afraid. Look, opposites attract, that's true. But when it comes to lifestyles, some differences are just too big to ignore. If one person's a party animal who thrives on late nights and social gatherings, while the other's a homebody who cherishes quiet evenings and Netflix binges, that can create a major rift in the relationship. Now, I'm not saying you have to be joined at the hip 24/7. It's healthy to have some separate interests and hobbies, but you need to be compatible on a fundamental level. Can you imagine spending your weekends the way you want to? Or are you constantly compromising? Are you on the same page about your social life, about how you spend your free time? It's about finding a balance, about respecting each other's needs and preferences. You deserve to be with someone who complements your lifestyle, not complicates it. Look, relationships are tough enough without ignoring the glaring red flags. I urge you to take what you've learned today and really assess your own relationships. Are you seeing any of these red flags? Are you settling for less than you deserve? Remember, your well-being matters. Don't be afraid to walk away from a situation that's no longer serving you, even if it's scary. You deserve to be with someone who cherishes you, respects you, and supports your dreams. Trust your gut. Listen to your intuition. You are the expert on your own life.